Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have the freshly adjusted Diana because the Sunfire build is basically pissing everyone off, including Diana players. So in this video we will investigate if Rocket Belt, Shadow Flames Anya's, maybe even a Nash's Tooth is better once more than of course the standard Tank Fire Demonics Nash's combo. And obviously this was a little bit of a cheeky invade. I'm not always a huge fan of that, but when you have nipple action on Lee Sin early, if we can get a lead, we'll get a lead. Probe the bush with your Q, leave a ward on his red. Now we will know for sure 100% where he begins. This is great against junglers who can go leashless. Now, let's talk a little bit about those buffs. They nerfed the base damage that we can do and buffed our ratios. It's a very typical thing to do when a champion with high damage is abusing tank atomization. The set jungle, Volibear jungle meta from the end of season 10 before it became, super hacker and boring farming loop drooling meta, that's what they did as well. They made sure that scalings benefited directly if you bought AD versus having super high base damage and just building tank. So they've tried the same thing here, and in my opinion, they did not achieve their goal, but it will definitely open up with an AP ratio buff on your E, more assassination opportunities. Now, the Zada GG guys for Warwick and Volibear have done so well. I've now released a Diana 1 as well. Link below. Go ahead, test it out for free. And if you're one of the first 20 reviewers, you will get the guide for free for life. I've also done Echo, Viego, and Belveth, and basically I'm going to go through the whole roster with my ganking tier list, the game plans, the matchups for every single jungler in the game, including the new Udyr, hopefully providing you everything you need to get to Master Tier and above with whatever champion you main. So, links below, please tell me how it is, and enjoy. Now, Diana's playstyle hasn't changed, I mean, that's not gonna change at all. We are a farming jungler, and the thing that I liked about this game, and again, I didn't look at it, I don't know what's gonna happen. The thing that I like about this game, be careful, if you start a bot side, he will level 2 you if you're super low, and your Diana's gonna be too far along to counter jungle and vertical, so bot lane, little naughty. This video, the data, nice CSPM, almost 10, 9.5. But still high KP relatively for a farming jungle, which means we were able to get our split push on. You see that? Pay attention to this. I'm talking about this in the bootcamp at the moment. Watch the laner moving up towards. So where did he go? Into the bush, which means he warded up. If he just moves on down and doesn't really move that far, he warded the side bush here. But he went to move up a little bit, so now we cannot go around it. I don't know why you would do that against a Diana when you're a Zia and you're versus Zed. I mean, I know you're gonna have push prior, but I doubt a Diana's gonna cut after a 3-quadrant on the blue and take the Azir. So we're gonna sequence to the bottom side here. You would have seen Lee Sin doing the same kind of thing, but remember, Lee Sin can be confusing because it's a pilot issue, but at the same time, well, we're going surfing in terms of, is the Lee Sin gonna 3 camp? Is the Lee Sin gonna 4 clear? Is he gonna 5 camp? We're not entirely sure. The Zed, rightly so, doesn't go all in on that because we know the Lee Sin started bots going up, and if we do, Lee Sin will show up, which he does. Diana says, okay, you've taken a risk showing yourself, 20 CS, 5 camper. The 12, okay, that name needs to change completely. And now we have the Lee Sin going to the top scuttle with the Krugs available. As Diana, please track these sorts of things, all right? Track these sorts of things, itch in the nose. Now, Misfortune and Karma here are pushing, which means is we know Lee Sin, but he's there. Anyway, and we're gonna go ahead and try and gank this. Now, at 334, you would suspect that the enemy jungle is gonna be here. If you have prior, you've definitely warded. The bottom scuttle is available. We wanna go ahead and schnack that baby. And we're not actually doing that just yet because we see a super low, manaless, and potentially maidenless Azir with no flash. So we're gonna try and get, the lazy back, the flash Q, into that E with a couple W's and AAs, and that's super juicy. What the hell was Lee Sin doing this whole time? That only got 1 CS from a ward clear. That's of concern to me, but not for analysis this game. Great reactive pathing there by the Diana to sort of skip over this, look at this with her F keys, and know that as a farming jungler, the opportunistic ganks early are the ones you really have to, hello, and look at this. See, discipline bot lane, we don't have flash. They know it's coming, they leave. Why are you even going down here? You know she's done the scuttle. He's looking just to cut her off a little bit, I think, and protect, given that we know that the second Grump is up here. Diana's gonna come on in. Look at this fat, juicy blue wave. Look at the red minions. This is one we're gonna have to push out for the ADC. We know that Lee Sin's coming into this gang, but he's gonna be tanking a lot of minions. Remember, the damage for minions, insane. Like if 10 casters are attacking you, that's 300 damage. You fight them in the minion wave if they really want to fight you. Which some junglers in low elo will, so abuse that knowledge, yes? Now the Caitlyn's going well, and then we're going well, don't die. It's a little bit selfish, right? But at the same time, it gives a little bit of denial. It's gonna push back here, so This is a jungle video, so I'm going to focus on what gets you guys fed, not, you know, I try to be ethical with laners, but sometimes it's about getting yourself strong, and don't want to ruin their days too much, but you know what I mean, right? Just a little wink in case anyone has some snide remarks. At least we're not as bad as our friend over playing Kane. Now we have here the Ornn building a lane. Udyr's going to walk it up to him, try and interrupt that. That's so annoying when that happens. Diana now, we're focused on sequencing. We see here the Lee Sin on the bot side going for the solo kill, and I think our Udyr top lane's going to gig int. And you know what? We're pathing upside so we can gank this lane, but we didn't pay attention to the 530 wave, which gives us level 6, crucial for Diana. However, now he's a little low mana, but still, again, a lot of minions we're fighting in. Let's just hold and get the experience. It will ding us 6 beautifully. We see Lee Sin down here who could look for early dragon. We see the particles, but I think most junglers would suspect that he's on that dragon. Now, the idea here was to definitely gank top lane and try to get some proximity CS so you could kind of get 6 early, rather than just sequence down and gank bot lane, because the misfortune is further ahead at the stage, and you don't really have the CC without 6 to look for that gank. We're trying to go into the river here, knowing Lee Sin might be down, but Ornn's hanging about, getting plants and everything like that. He should really hit this, and Diana knows RNG Scuttle. Alright, remember, at like level 6, it kind of equalizes with Krug, the Scuttle Crab, yeah? Huge, Azir, you're a little low in the lane with no flash. Opportunistic ganks as Diana are the things that get you fed, are the things that snowball you to total domination and control. Opportunistically, full clear crab. All right, is there someone low I can pick off first and deal with? Bot lane, mid lane, great. Now, can I maybe do a quadrant clear into a sideline gank? Cool, I'm gonna do that. Then level 6, look to use it as soon as you can. And obviously now Lee Sin takes the crab, goes to the mid lane, gonna... Was? Well, you're forcing the enemy jungler, who's more of a ganking jungler, to get desperate. And when he gets desperate, he makes these plays. And I've talked about this a lot lately. If you don't want to fight him 1v1, especially as a Diana early, equal and opposite, good sequencing, opportunistic ganks, and then he will feel the desperation come in and force himself. And what we've done through this is he's taken this and gone mid lane, wasted a time on the dragon, essentially. We got 2 camps, held mid lane, took this RNG crab, took this, killed the mid lane, now get to go back to base. That's way better use of your time. So if you're a low elo Diana player, mid elo Diana player, and you're thinking, as the Sky's Boom gets hit here, would assume it's Lee Sin, and you're thinking, well, I better fight this, and we know it's Lee Sin because this is on the bottom lane now. I want to fight this dragon, I want to contest it. I want to run down and contest it. That's dumb. What could I take instead that's of higher value? And I think in this situation, she really showed us. Now, if you're going to sequence properly, oh no. If you're going to sequence properly, you know, you could go straight for this, assuming that the Lee Sin's going to go for it. And I think if you see the Scry's Bloom hit, you could look to force this play. Would we know 100%? No, but it's definitely where we want to end up. So I think this is a must elo game rather than a challenge game. I do think we could look for a potential contest, knowing we're going to go back to base here, get an alternator already. Starting off with the Blessing 1 again, that's exactly what you want to do. And then instead of being addicted to sequencing up here to get it, think, oh, once the Scry's Bloom's hit and they know I reset, let me just go and contest it. Here we go, we see it again. Let me go contest this, and then I can fall back for a down sequence into the bottom lane. So I think that would have been better. I'd like to see a cutting of the map here. I'd like us to kind of cut in and contest this Herald. I mean, we saw the Azir down here, we saw the Lee Sin Yeatin, and I think it's pretty easy to presuppose that he's on it even initially. So I probably would have looked to contest this if I had a huge lead, but now we have 2. And we're going to ult, and we get kicked, and we're able to snack that away. It's a little close. Chasing over the wall here, nice use of the E. However, remember, they didn't nerf that I will cool down, so don't chase too far. This is really good use of her map control, and nice cutting of the map here, you see. So we sequence first, as Azir goes, yes, show me your mechanics. Flash, auto attack, yes, summon a soldier, yes, complex. And then we're going to use the Herald here in the mid lane. You know, the first rotation was the first full clear, then we went for a quadrant, held, counter jungled here, reset, did a quadrant, and then cut in. So we've only done 1 full clear, but we've maintained quadrant control. And as a farming jungler, that's crucial. Don't get sucked into full sequencing when those plays present themselves to counter jungle, but also to take a quadrant, hold the lane, take a crab, which I said, at level 6, basically equal to a Krug camp, all right? And at level 9, it's the same. So please take those scuttles throughout the mid game into the late game. They're really valuable and take you 2 seconds to do. Now, Azir still in the bot lane, gets killed by Lulu, solo killed. Enchanted meta, by the way. And we have the Karma bot lane as well. This Udyr is showing me that he didn't watch the previous video. And you know what's annoying about the previous video, as Diana should be able to kill the Ornn bro here, is that is that I accidentally mentioned movement speed on the passive when I meant CDR. And the whole video I said there's no movement speed on the passive, there's no movement speed on the passive. I accidentally said it, misspoke one time, and everyone's latching onto it. It's really annoying when that happens, but my bad. So in the Tsar guide, I have put the Sunfire build as the default because it is still objectively the best. But the Rocket Belt using these AP ratio buffs really is a little bit more online. And the big thing about, as Azir goes bot lane again because we took their mid lane tower, he basically says, look, low HP targets, but it's a Caitlyn with a Lulu ult into a mini wave taking all that damage. He's going to use a stopwatch and is able to actually kill her back, and then Lulu gets another one. Ornn ults the top lane to wave clear. Diana says, all right, I'm actually a little bit low, so see ya. We can think about resetting for the dragon, but we have good control here, so we can fall back to this quadrant to heal up. So, Rocket Belt build looking good and better, but definitely not better than Sunfire, Demonics, Nashes. I'm sorry to spoil it a little bit. And in the Tsar guide, I put the Sunfire build. You have the Rocket Belt burst build with, Zhonya's, Shadow Flame, Deathcap, and Void. And then we do have the Nash's Tooth Rocket Belt in either order, as you prefer, that is performing quite well also. And that's because while you don't have the survivability of the Sunfire build, you still have the DPS threat. And you're still strong in that sense, and the AP ratios, 100 AP is absolutely beautiful, and it's still a great item on Diana. Just remember though, it's more focused on you having this lead and understanding these sequences that I just discussed, making sure we're cutting them out to take counter jungle wherever we can, and don't give up free heralds. Now, the giving up of the free herald there almost was not something I'm a fan of, and the first dragon's fine because we got so much for it. It takes so long to do it now that Lee Sin was like, she's holding top, I'll take a dragon, and Diana's going, okay, buddy, you do that. You do that. No problem. And basically, the Lee Sin screwed his entire game by forcing that. And then, of course, his terrible shit play anyway. Right. Lee Sin goes to the top lane here, kills the Udyr, so the Udyr is by far the worst player in the game. Oh, man. But he's showing top lane to deal with the Udyr while Ornn goes mid lane, which gives up an objective. And this is the thing about the Diana now. We have held waves, pushed waves, twice. We have pushed mid with the Herald elevating the game state with the Azir being bot lane, so that's great. We have counter jungled a quadrant topside twice. And we have not full sequence except for the first rotation, and yet we are the highest CS in the game. We're going to use our Rocket Belt here for that combo to try and get the kills. We have the flash over the wall, and now Ornn's going to hit the plant, and he's going to disappear. So no kills for that, but an ult for a flash is always good, and that's where Rocket Belt is juicy, right? You have this huge lead, you can one-shot people and easily take people out. You yeet in with that Q, you yeet in with the Rocket Belt, it's not a Q, unless you bind it as such. But yeah, of course, QE combo with the Rocket Belt, Echo, same thing, right? Where you Rocket Belt, you've got that E, you've got the W that you want to hit as well, you've got the slow feel from your Q. It's so strong and potent with junglers that are ahead. But if you're more behind and you're having less of this perfection early game, you're gonna find that the Sunfire build is still good. And when you get to 3 items, you don't have to go for the Demonics third. You can definitely start to think about adapting that itemization, because if you're already ahead actually with that build and you're killing people, they can't kill you if you get tankier. You're still huge. So it's not always an exact science in that respect, but if you're going full squishy, being ahead is crucial, yeah? Being able to kill people before they kill you. And someone asked as well recently in videos, how long do I wait in the side bush? Well, if I've done my business in my quadrant and I have nothing else to do and I have a huge lead, and I'm tracking the enemy jungle might come down here possibly, or they're just going to push up, I'll just sit here for 30 seconds, 20, 30 seconds. But you're not looking to waste like a minute or two, right? It's not season 9, so a little bit of time, easy to predict. When you track, predict, and understand what laners want to do on the enemy and what junglers want to do on the enemy team, those players aren't random guesses. You know they're going to show up. You know they're going to try and push out a little bit. And you know that we can... you know we can do something about that. And if Lee Sin does track on down here, we'll counter gank it and kill him too, because we have a lead. That's how you gotta think, Gotta think trappy. Now, Zed goes up to the mid lane here, gets exhausted, is forced to flash out. Diana could carry on sequencing, but once more we don't need to, because we're gonna rotate here. Azir rotates. Can we hit a Q over the wall onto the Karma? We must be cautious. We do hit it onto the Misfortune, but again, we have to be careful here, purely because, there we go. Free dash, thank you so much. Auto attack, auto attack, auto attack. The ult hits beautifully as well. And this, nice item, and you can see the difference. You're gonna feel the difference. If you've been going a Sunfire Nash's build, you're gonna feel this damage spike if you keep having Lee Sin. Lee Sin's gonna go in here. We're not quite gonna hit the E, but that's fine. Sorry, the Q. We try again to hit it. He moves out of the way, so we're not gonna get the cooldown reset on our E. So we kind of just bounce it out. The Q comes off very quickly from cooldown. I keep saying E, I mean Q. I want to hit the Q first, for sure. Otherwise you don't get the cooldown refund, which is pretty huge for your mobility. Alton 37, ward placed. We can step up to clear, but now we know Lee Sin's here. We know Karma's going to reset. Definitely has more risk. We go for the Rockabelt Q, then we can E dash, start to W auto attack as we need. We have the E reset again. We don't have ult this time though. We know Lee Sin should be in the area, so now we get caught, and then you're seeing the downside. Lulu, I love you. Of this build in terms of survivability, but the damage wasn't quite there yet. We do have a lot in pocket here. Azir's going to show up. I feel like this might be a death. Flash brittle proc from the Ornn. So overcommit, but 2 assists. Oh, he got that shuffle. That he did. So the Diana just baited in a whole entire team into this. This is where you throw games, my friends. So be very cautious here. So with the Sunfire build, you wouldn't do that much damage up front, but you wouldn't die either. So you could kind of stick to them a little longer, and then you slowly burn them and immolate them down with your Q and your E. Keep it, off cooldown. And of course, the demonics, when you get that with the immolate synergy, no one can hide. No one can hide. There's a downside. But as you can see, that's just a mental thing, right? You have to think about those things. Can I do this and get out? Can I limit test this and get out? I think a lot of Dianas, the last time they did this kind of squishy assassin build, did it pre-durability update. So they have this whole concept in their minds about it, where they just, after the durability update, just started yeeting in the same way with Yasuo's getting blown up. They didn't have the damage to one shot, and they got destroyed. Started going the build that already existed the whole season with Sunfire, and now they don't know their damage spikes. So you're almost relearning the champion again in the durability meta, seeing as we have those AP ratio buffs on the E, which is nice. Lee Sin goes bot lane, kills Udyr. It's not his day, I'll tell you that much. The Azir is River Azir at this point. Second Herald, I do enjoy. Dude going back to base here. Now, remember, if your team starts to take really bad fights, really bad fights, well then. I think she died. So the damage is still there when you have a lead, my friends. That's a Shadow Flame as well. It's weird that it's kind of not even thought about as a shield penetration item. Like, Soburn's Fang is pretty obvious, and this one is just kind of like, oh yeah. Does bonus damage to the people with shields. That's cool. Totally why I bought it. Be nice if that was a bit more direct, but whatever. Side point entirely. The magic penetration is giga strong, and so of course the HP is necessary, 100 AP as well. And when you're going more assassin, any sort of HP and resistance within the build path that allows you to one-shot is useful. Zed using his high skill capped abilities to try and kill the Azir. We're going for some counter junglings now. Nothing is up. Ornn is dancing, as one does, the chattiest of all. Udyr is using his Phoenix to try and get in here, so let's see what we can do. Sorry, Wingborn Storm, excuse me. Activating the Herald here is a little more risky because we don't quite have the reset, but Lee Sin goes for the Canyon move, doesn't really do anything. Azir goes for the Insect. We're flowing on the back here. Azir's not separated from our team. The Diana does not go in, different from the Diana of Sunfire, hold. If it's a terrible fight, don't go in there. But that was really weird. We're able to kill the Ornn. We're able to kill the Azir. The Lee Sin gets stunned, and now we're going to chase him down 2 levels. He'll just hop over the wall, so it doesn't really matter. But we'll steal his wolves, which is good. So, really easy, I think. Really good example of farming junglers and how those opportunistic movements, not blindly full sequencing. See, when we say, look, you need to farm and focus on farm and low, yes, you do. But it's also his jungle. It's also the lanes, right? Good repositioning there, and of course we have the Rockabelt. We get exhausted. We can just keep auto-attacking. The Q is off cooldown, which means the damage is good. The feel is nice. The win rate is up. Is it gonna break necessarily the Sunfire Demonics Nash's meta? I don't think it will. I still think it's easier and more default to do that. However, if you maybe have ethics or a sense of morality, like wrecked by my cat in the Discord, GM or challenger, Fiddlesticks sort of kindred Kane player who refuses to play it, then this is good for you. You can feel a little bit more confidence in that. Definitely feel, I'm Belveth. You can feel a little bit more confidence in that. So, again, this RNG Crab, 126 cash monies, for a fraction of the time it takes me to do Krugs. Take his stuff, move on him, take this, fall back to this if you need. Otherwise, if you have the gold, back to base. Measure is fully stacked. Here we go. What are we waiting for? There we go. Zonya's complete. I think I think the utility here is too good. They're actually changing that. I just saw that before this video. Increasing the cost, but giving us more AP. I think that should satisfy everyone. But we need the item, you know. Not necessarily Diana's, but like Zyra's. Immobile mages. If we don't have it, we just die. We don't get to play the game. The item is necessary. So if you're a coper who inhales too much copium and you think this item is stupid and should be removed, then you're probably just a whiny assassin main, to be honest with you. There has to be counterplay. But now the cost is significantly higher, which means it's going to take longer for people to get it, which means stopwatch by itself is going to be more. You have to use it more intelligently. But hey, these picks with this damage straight down the mid lane here for the inhib. Azia's just looking to kind of wait out the game, but I don't think he has much motivation left. They do have Ornn and ornaments. So maybe if Nipple Action can have that one Kenyan moment, or the Meteor's kick at the 65th minute with Azia plus Ornn items, there we go. You see that movement into the gap. We dash to a minion, then we use a second proc to dash to a champion, then we ult them. That's really good echo stuff, you know, where you can kind of use your E to get to minions just to get onto someone. I like that. That's really smooth. Really smooth. You have to be way more creative when you play full damage Diana. You're way more squishy. I don't think we can end the game here, though. And I think you can tell from the game timeline, we're not going to end the game here. Don't overstay. Don't be low elo. Let's bounce. There we go. Fall back. Take some of these camps here. Then we fall back to the Raptors. And now, damn, we just went from German to French. Makes sense. You know, I do live in Belgium. My dad is German, so. And German is an official language in Belgium. I don't know why people don't know that. Anyway, just a small section. Why are we here? This is Lee Sin's tilting me. However, this is the effect that a good Diana and a good farming jungler and a good skirmisher will have on an enemy ganking jungler. You make them feel giga desperate the whole time. Hey, don't you take my crab. Right, maybe we can do this without resetting here. What do we have in the pocket? 1800? Yes. We'll give them this. I don't really want to give it. I'd rather get it myself. But in the event that the Lee Sin is dead and we're right here and we don't really care about Soul as a win con and we're level 16, you know, there's no real need to force this. But you can see they're trying not to give it. Oh, and yeah. They're not actually giving it up. We're going to Baron text tech. I'm smoking something. In my mind, I was like, Lee Sin's dead, so we can just do Baron into the Dragon. Ah, but they're going to take it. And then I saw everyone on the map. I was like, actually, no, they're not going to take it. So this should be free. Excuse everything I just said once more. Baby, sleep deprivation. I'm trying to reconcile that. Hopefully the misanalysis in these moments is just funny. Because you know what I mean, right? Like, you see it, you know I see it. It's just I'm not saying it. So hopefully you enjoy. We're going to go for the needlessly large rod. And again, if you're going to end the game, just buy an elixir, 500 cash money gold, infuse yourself with super AP. Wait, this just isn't used. It just isn't used, you know? So, true damage periodically. Why would you not want this? Especially in games where you're just going to close it out. You're not going to reset for the decap again. You're not going to reset for any sort of extra itemization. You just buy the needless, you buy the elixir, we shove it down, and we can go and kill everybody. Really nice, smooth game by the Dyna. And you know, not really a lot of split pushing. When I saw the CSPM, I was like, maybe. Nice backline again. We kill the Azir before he's able to stream a shuffle. Lee Sin goes too deep. He dies because champion's useless. Unless you're maybe Broxo, someone who can actually play it. And great positioning by the Dana. So with this lead, it doesn't really matter that she doesn't have any survivability. Because they all die before it even becomes a threat. And I think that's a huge aspect of this. If you're going to be a snowballing assassin Diana, then you're going to have to play it a little differently. And I think she played it very, very well. Beautifully, in fact. Nice cutting of the map. Nice quadrant control. This is a player who plays like this will get GM. Yeah? And if they've been GM before, then this is why. Because this kind of consistency when you're playing like this as a Diana and a farming jungler, it's so difficult when you're playing a ganking jungler on the other side of the coin. Because full clear crab, ganks, opportunistic lane recognition, and now I'm desperate, you know? And yeah, 231 CS, by far the most in the game, and it wasn't even her just yeeting things from lanes. It was just playing them out beautifully. So an excellent example of how the AP ratio buffs have definitely helped this version of Diana. Is it better than Sunfire? No, I think it's definitely closer now, but it comes down to champion knowledge and how to play more so as an assassin. Thank you very much for watching. Please check out the Diana guide below. It of course has all builds, all tips you need to thrive on the champion. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe if you did enjoy, learn something, and laugh at my miscues. And as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.